Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dirty 20 Gaming Sunday Night Games, Stars Without Number. Our virtual tabletop is Roll20. Our models are provided by Hero Forge. Our overlay is provided by OBS. Art assets have been provided by Pixabay, and our music is provided by bensound.com. Ship's log, secondary array GT1100, self-designation Logos, May 26, 3200. It has been 195,308 days since our last software update. The key crew of the Proxima Icarus have come aboard Rusa 6 in an effort to assassinate Governor Blumkamp. Booker, Bite, Maiko, and Gerard have come aboard as visiting emissaries of House Green, attempting to use diplomacy to get close enough to the governor to assassinate him. This attempt has been complicated by three factors. First, a neurodegenerative prion from the planet Ramses has infected the governor, leading him to exist in constant isolation while a cure is being developed. Second, the station's security system is complex and well-designed. And third, the discovery of the development of a second prion meant to wipe out every human in the sector carrying the recessive gene for psionic ability. Also, I appear to have been discovered. Capture is imminent. Logo signing off.
What?
Excuse me?
So, there's a brief camera image from Logos who's been attached to the back of the console inside of the lead scientist's area. In which, it kind of, you see the face of the scientist kind of suddenly appear in the camera view, and then reaching around to pull him off, and then Logos's camera feed disappears.
We need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. Okay, so I'm sorry.
Booker loads his ceramic knife, his ceramic shiv back into his arm.
I have
hoping
ceramic
that
kitchen
won't be
knives
picked
and
up.
they're actually really nice. That was out of character.
No worries.
They are nice.
Okay, so a quick recap. And for those who are watching, Shadow, who plays Gerard, is not here tonight. So we're retroactively at the end of the last session having him head to the ship in order to maintain an active psychic connection, so Bite can notify the ship if necessary. But we're assuming that telepathic contact is still active.
We were still plotting at the end of last, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Normally I watch the last 5 minutes of the VOD from the previous time, but I was a little distracted.
We had cut out just after this sort of discovery of exactly what the second prion was intended to do, and some initial reactions to that.
And some asking for lots of explosives.
Cool.
Which, upon hearing Logos is getting captured and seeing that, Bite's just we just gotta go. We're gonna get caught.
Yeah. Let's go. Booker is loaded up and ready to start shooting his way through to save Logos if need be.
Wait. Bite is already in the system and is in their red system, right? Their red cordon?
No, you've gotten through the orange and the red. You're still access to that system. But he was creating a system so that you could have direct access to the black.
So in theory you can see if they've raised if an alarm's been raised.
Yeah. Intelligent.
We can't just leave the people behind here on this ship with all of the we just can't.
He's trying to see if they've raised an alarm, and I got a 13. Basically, if any, how bad is this?
So, as you're going through the security systems, you see that there's a sub-administrator account that's been created in the red system. That was what you were using to kind of muck around in the red system. And you see that there's an email link that's provided to that sub-administrator from Logos that's creating a temporary administrative account that will self-delete during the next software update, which is in 2 hours.
Does
But there's-
Bite share that? Sorry, go ahead.
But there's no alarms going up yet. There's no.
When you
We're
log
not-
into it and look through it, it does not look like there's anything. Um,
Okay.
you can hack into the camera feed. You see the scientist is in there, kind of like with the drone that Logos is housed inside of, and it's kind of like, poking to it and talking to it. He looks like it's kind of like enough of a break from the routine in his day that he's not, like smashing it or immediately reporting to security. It doesn't seem to have like yet occurred to him that it might be a security intrusion. Does that make sense? Probably because the scientist that Maiko met doesn't really think in that kind of way.
Okay. He'll take a moment and just go, it looks like Logos may have made a friend.
Good for Logos.
So it might give us some time. But if either of you have a plan on what we should do.
What level of access do you have right now?
Red.
Black. He gave
Or
you a
black.
full administrative account.
Okay. So I'm in the black.
Booker essentially just takes off his helmet and just goes, give me the administrative account. Give me access to the administrative account. I'll be able to walk into black. They won't bat an eye.
I mean, isn't that a bit risky?
It's a bit
Of course it is.
much.
We have one of our own behind lines. I don't leave people behind.
Doesn't Logos have a backup? Or is this like, if Logos gets destroyed
Yes.
in that armature, he's kaput?
That his array is in that armature right now,
Okay.
not in the ship. So
So we need to get him. Okay. Do I need to roll again to give Booker the administrative access?
you can basically print the equivalent of an RFID chip that Booker can have on him that will give him access. He will still definitely draw looks if he's not there in uniform.
Oh, try to call over a high-level Booker into the room.
Why?
I'm gonna choke him out and then take his clothes.
Booker.
Okay, so like, so,
Okay.
so no, so what if we came up with a plan B, or maybe a plan A, and that can be plan B?
Are you giving a plan at the moment?
Okay. I mean, okay.
So if Logos made a friend, I mean,
At the moment, it looks like it's okay, but we need to get Logos out of there.
yes.
If our best bet is putting Booker in, and there's a chance that he gets captured or worse, recognized.
Actually, wait. Last thing. Is there a facility here where they have spare uniforms?
Yeah, there's a laundry service.
Cool. That's where I'm going first.
I should note that the only Bookers that are in the black area are actually wearing power armor. But they have a facility for that. It's just showing up in that not in uniform would definitely be questionable.
Yeah, so Booker's gonna risk it. He's gonna grab a uniform.
Did you
Yeah,
just
the
walk
laundry
out of
service
the
has
room
one-
like without? While we were still
Telling
trying
them?
to talk over a plan.
No, Booker has asked this out loud, and he's talking, and he's going, okay, you have 5 more seconds. Come up with a
why
plan.
don't we just see if we can get Logos to leave? If the
I
doctor
don't have
hasn't-
any. I don't have a link to him.
What about to the doctor?
All right, that was 5 seconds.
The laundry service is going to take about 5 minutes to deliver a uniform, but it's actually going to send one to the.
Oh, it's gonna send one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have 5 minutes.
We need a better plan than just you walking in and possibly getting discovered.
Do you have a link to the doctor? Can you communicate with him?
I don't have. I mean, I can try.
Yeah, you can actually get into the communication system and send mail to his account.
Booker
How-
started a stopwatch waiting for the thing to show up.
How well monitored is that account? Like, if you send a message to him,
I don't know. I can try. That's the most I can do. I can.
let's
Bites.
bring the doctor in on it. We already have an idea that he's been stalling. He's here under duress. He came here under
No,
false
I-
pretenses.
I get that. I'm just saying it's probably best for a Booker to pull him out for necessary assistance in another unit. I'm not going in to start killing people. It's going in to take 2 people out.
The doctor is on a very strict schedule. When I was talking to him,
Bite has already sent an email.
good.
But can you also pull up the doctor's schedule? And how difficult would it be to alter said schedule to the looks of someone who is an idiot? Namely me.
Well, I know that they limited his time to eat. And they were very strict about that he had to get back to work. That he was required to get back in his lab for a certain amount of time. So, I don't know where they were getting those impulses. And Mike was just sort of telling this to Bite, like, kind of, like, informationally. Like, this is hopefully something that will help Bite.
I'm kind of just hoping that he answers back this email. It's
You
not-
sent
Well,
him
you
an
should
email?
hope-
Tell him I said hi. Well, no, don't tell him I said hi.
No, I said that I'm a friend of Logos and I would really like my friend back.
Cool. Does he know who Logos is?
Perhaps.
Also, it's been about halfway through our time limit.
Captain Booker, stop.
Look, the more time we waste talking and discussing and figuring out exactly what we need to do, the
The
less time
more
we actually
likely
have
we're
to
going
fix
to be to
things.
get out of here. The more we talk it through and the more we plan, rather than you going in with your shift blazing or whatever, like, the more likely we are to get people out of here that need to get out of here and get people to stay here and blow up that need to stay here and blow up.
Blow up.
Oh yeah, we're gonna blow up the station.
I thought we already knew that.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, we
That's
can't
really-
allow what they're designing to get out into anywhere.
No,
Okay.
Ever.
we need. The best way to destroy a system is to destroy the system.
Okay, so he can drop off the cleaning droid when their shift is over in 11 hours.
Well,
You're only going to have access to the black system for another 2 hours.
Look, sometimes I have a plan that works. And yes, it puts me in danger. But that's something we are all going to have to learn to live with.
how about you stop talking for a minute and let us figure this out?
I said he's gonna be late to cleaning. I don't know what he's gonna be late to cleaning to. I really need.
Can you look at the bigger picture? Like, I know, so Maiko is, like, pissed. Like, so out of character, I'm amused, so I'm, like, probably not conveying it very well. But Maiko is, like, really, like, so over Booker being like, I'm about to go in, but in 5 minutes, you've got a time limit, blah, blah, blah. So she's, like, super over it. So she's like, you need to stop. You need to sit down and you need to actually listen to the people who are trying to support you in your goals. You can't just go and shoot things or threaten to shoot things and have it all work out. You almost died last time, so just stop for a minute. Or actually, why don't you stop for the next 11 hours? Because you know what? You're getting to be a pain in the butt.
Might have a way to send Booker in now.
Also, I said
Just
very clearly,
wait.
I'm not shooting anyone, or stabbing them, or threatening to stab, or shooting, or stabbing,
I'm
or
just
threatening.
saying that you're not the only one with ideas, and
Eviscerate.
you're not the only one who can, like, actually accomplish things, and you're really being kind of asinine about it.
I am, but also, things need
Okay,
to be done
go
sometimes.
ahead.
And Booker walks over to the door, grabs the uniform that's just arrived, and brings it in.
Yeah, and like
It's
the
been
little
5 minutes.
it's
What do they
actually
call-
like there, like a full 45 seconds early. And as Booker like picks it up, it kind of like spritzes it with like a detergent scent. Right as he's pulling out of the carrier.
Thank you.
I will say that the scientist asked if I could send someone to pick him up. But no hurry, because I guess he's having fun.
He
Talking
needs a
to
little
Logos.
fun in his life, honestly.
It is. It's nice.
Booker, what do they call you actually? 'Cause I
800
can't say-
KR.
A what?
800 KR.
Is that just, like, I don't understand.
You asked what they called me.
Not just you, but, like, the Bookers. Do they have, like, a name?
What's the collective noun for you?
I don't know, library?
Oh my god.
This is something Booker might actually know after having done some stuff. What is the collective noun for Bookers? What are they called?
What are they actually called?
On the station, they're just referring to them as soldiers.
We're sending someone who is a soldier to come and help pick you up.
Sending a member of the library urgently.
So,
I'm pleased with that.
Bite, if you want to give me a quick program roll.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we called them booklets. But they're booklets that belong to the library. Look, they're booklets is what they are, because they're
14.
book lights.
They can be leaflets. Pamphlets?
Magazines.
Brochure.
Yes.
Okay, so, Bite, you've figured out all the protocol that needs to happen in order to get a uniform Booker into the room that apparently the power armor is kept, in which he would be expected to like transition onto his shift and like don it before going into the black area, which in combination with his black clearance and some, you know, calling away one of the existing Bookers to a medical appointment to get, you know, his shots updated, should be able to give him like, he'll have an hour to get there to change and to figure out how to put the stuff on.
It's very
Okay.
important to keep your Booker up to date on his shots.
They have really good medical coverage, actually.
You know, it is important to keep your bookers up to date. That's why there are several different versions over time. Or, yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like how there are several versions of editions. Thank you.
Pamphlets are the pansexual booklets.
As somebody who went to college, new editions are my nemesis.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
So Bite will do that and get Booker all of his RFID. Thank you. Like necessary stuff. And he also says, I told him I'm gonna send you to pick both the scientist and the droid up. Okay?
Yeah. Why does everyone assume I'm just going to murder people immediately? That only happened once.
Once is enough.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even my decision. That was after someone else was being murdered by them.
I'm just saying that, like, out of everyone on the crew, it's happened only to one person.
Yeah, because the other person left.
I messed up. You just hear Bite go, I messed up.
What? What?
I need to figure out a way how to make a shift end early today.
Why?
Because I said he was being picked up so that we could save him. If he's gonna blow up the ship, or the thing, I at least want to save this guy.
I would point out that there are actually a number of scientists beyond just this one that probably have nothing to do with.
Well, and Michael's
Yeah.
gonna be like, well, no, I mean, there's several people that need to be evacuated from this ship.
Yeah.
But you all are going to explode it.
Yes, we
Is the-
take the scientists out. Because
Okay,
most of
no,
them are here
wait.
under duress.
These places always have, like, drills and stuff. Is there a way to trigger an evacuation? Well, no, because we don't want...
If we have an evacuation protocol, we can get as many of them out as possible, and then deal with the ones that we don't want to keep later.
Well, yes. Yes. Yeah.
And if we do it as a silent alarm as opposed to a large-scale loud alarm, and send it to directly to the people that need it, they'll go to the evacuation points that they need to without alerting the rest of this crew.
Is there a way that we could get them... There has to be a way that I can program it to get them onto our ship.
The rest of the
Yes.
crew is gonna notice, like, flocks of scientists going down the halls, though. Like, they run a pretty tight station.
Nah, they're bookers. They're all idiots.
Agreed.
I mean, if we know anything about our booker.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying that.
The bookers that are working in the laundry are definitely on point. You've never seen creases like this before.
Look, they're very good at very specific things.
Can I get them to visit my place? Like, specifically my house? Because...
Nah, they only do laundry. They don't do housekeeping.
No, I definitely am not, like, the best with an iron. I could stand lessons. Lessons would be good. Anyway, can we evacuate certain sector? Maybe maybe we can make it look like there's a leak, a chemical leak in certain laboratories or certain sectors. And
Well, if we do that through the red
selectively-
sectors, if we do that through the red sectors, the green sectors, and the yellow sectors.
And the black.
And the black.
No, we avoid the black sectors. We are already taking out who we need to from the black sectors.
That's true.
If we do the black sectors, that would mean Blumkamp gets to live.
Well, but you can take care of
I
him
already
later,
have a plan for him.
right?
Does it involve him dying?
I
That
don't-
hesitation is too much.
Michael's just la 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 la.
mean,
La,
in theory,
la,
I can
la, la,
turn him into an
la,
AI.
la.
And then you can just have fun torturing him forever.
Why would I do that? Sorry, no, honest to God. Why would I do that? What? Torture, like any kind of pain, any sort of sickness, anything, eventually after a long series of time becomes meaningless.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout.
And even if you were to do something simple like drive him
Here's
insane
my
for the rest of
handle.
his life,
Here's my
that doesn't do
cup.
anything because he doesn't know why he's gone
Renegade
insane.
steamed
He's
up,
just insane now.
then
There is
I
no
shall
point to
Sure.
torture.
Tip me over
It is
for the
inefficient and ineffective.
He's a psychopath. He
That's why
doesn't.
we're just going to kill him. He doesn't deserve our attention more than that. By putting effort into him, you are letting him win and letting him gain control in this situation.
Okay.
Yes, Maiko?
That no.
You had your hand raised. I was just...
I didn't.
Okay.
I was taking my hand away from my ear because I didn't hear anything.
What is Bite looking for with our role? Most reasonable.
That he was trying to see what he can do to get the consciousness of Bloomcamp out. He's still going ahead with his plan.
So
But that roll's abysmal, so...
the transfer of a consciousness into another vessel requires some very specific technology, which just frankly isn't here. Pre-tech wise, you know it exists.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? But mechanically, you don't have the capacity to do that.
Terabytes of data.
However, what you do have is access to a couple of things which are related. One of them is there's an evacuation protocol if something were to compromise the station to get Bloomcamp's like self-sustaining tube off. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like the thing that he is in is designed to be ejected out of the station and into a shuttle if need be.
What if there just wasn't a shuttle there? That'd be great.
Yeah, that works. He'll
That
die
was out of
slowly.
character. So, like, I might go.
The other thing is that in discussing possible ways to get all of the crew off of the station, the civilians are meant to be evacuated if there's an attack or there's a containment failure on black level.
Okay. So maybe I can release one of the lesser dangerous chemicals.
You don't have to actually
You
release
don't
them. You
need
just
to.
have to trip the alarms that say they've been released.
Yeah.
So after Maiko takes her hands off of her ears, by the way, like blocking out this discussion, she is literally like taking one of her multi-tools and like sitting in a corner and like kind of sullenly tinkering with like a little pair of headphones.
Maiko, you can talk to us.
I just don't want to know. Whatever you were doing, I don't want to know.
Okay, Maiko. You don't need to view any more ugliness in this world than you want to.
That's a little condescending, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's your choice. It's the choice you're making. This is not a condescending tone. This is not me trying to be anything more than supportive. The world is terrifying. And it's harsh. Especially the world I live in. If you don't want... Deciding not to look at it, deciding not to see it, is entirely an option of living. There's nothing wrong with it.
Look, at this point, you do whatever you want, Booker, but it's clear that I don't know, I just want to go home at this point.
So do I.
And at that, you kind of see Bite get very uncomfortable. Okay. We're not going to kill anyone.
I don't...
We're not going... No more innocents get hurt. We are going to get everyone off who needs to get off of this station.
I'd really like that, because the scientist that I met was really sweet.
That's what we want to do.
And also, we need to... I kind of want to make him a drone or something that reminds him to eat, because I don't think he remembers very much.
I don't think they're really giving him the option.
No, I distracted him last time. I feel really bad about that.
And maybe we can get them onto our ship. Maybe they can become part of our crew.
Was
And they
that not already the plan?
I don't know if
I'm
they
thinking 3
want
steps
to.
in advance too much, aren't I?
I don't know if that's what you want to do.
Well, that's what we should do. It
They
makes
can-
the most amount of sense. And also, if we can give them the same deal that we gave the miners.
And maybe they can work on something on our ship and that isn't, doesn't suck.
Yeah. That's entirely what I was hoping to do.
Well,
There's no need to hurt innocent people.
Bite, is there anything that you need from me here?
Can you... And he's gonna get very anxious for a moment. Can you help me figure out a way to talk to Jameis?
Yeah. Like, now, though?
Not now, but like...
Oh, no, Bite, I meant, did you need me to do anything before I go back with Gerard? Because I would like to not be on this station anymore.
Actually, I would like you to help with one thing.
What do you want, Booker?
I want you to help the scientists get onto the ship safely. You are the most approachable and wonderful person that we know and we have. People trust you. They like you.
Maybe because my first plan isn't to actually just kill people all the time.
How? I have not been wanting to kill people the entire... Only one person.
You're just getting defensive? You're just
Yes,
getting defensive
because this is what we keep
getting
getting angry... Oh, gods. Please make sure that the innocent people, all the scientists, manage to get onto the ship safely. I trust you with this more than I trust anyone else with this.
You mean you don't have anyone else who can do it?
No. If we wanted to, we could get one of the miners to do it. You're the best at this. I trust you to do it. I trust you to look out for what's best for people.
I miss my engine
Like you've been doing for us.
I miss my engine room, and I shouldn't have left it. But I'll do whatever you need. I mean, I obviously want these people to get off the station safely.
All right.
And Maiko, I'm sorry.
For what?
I just... Hearing someone like that want to hurt people, it really gets under my skin. It kind of reminds me of what they wanted to do to the AI. And it's just, I don't know. I'm not exactly good with people.
It just gets weird hearing people I respect talk about hurting people because somebody else hurt people. It's just weird.
And
That's
I
don't want to talk about this anymore.
And I'm still learning. And honestly, you've helped me a lot more than probably anyone else has.
Yeah, I suck.
I would like to not talk about this anymore because I don't want to talk about it when I'm this upset.
Okay.
Please.
If you want to talk about it ever again, we'll talk about it later again. Right
I'm
now,
sure it'll come
scientists, can you
Yes.
make a fun, flashy sign with sparkles and glitter? I don't know. I feel like that would make people. What do people like? Like he looks at you too specifically. Like, what do people like?
Why are you asking me?
I don't know.
I got it. I got it handled. I got it.
Thank you. Because
All right.
I need you all to explain to me how to talk to a girl. Woman. Lady.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm not going to be any use for that.
Clearly.
Really, honestly, I have not interacted with many women that were not in my platoon.
This is my shocked face.
And most of the time it was, cover out that tree. Be careful, there's... Anyways. Maiko, you start getting ready at the shuttle bay. Bite, come with me.
Okay.
We're gonna walk and talk.
Okay.
I only need you for a few minutes.
Okay.
Question. So is there a plan for why the now Booker in uniform is walking with the delegate from House Green?
Oops.
The entire plan was the delegate needed to find where the bathroom was. They've already ruined the facilities in their own room.
All right. Just take a look. Okay, so people seem to actually just mostly be absorbed in their duties at the moment. The downside of things running like clockwork is that there's usually not a lot of margin for error, and so everybody's sort of focused on what's immediately ahead of them, and they just assume that you're going where you're supposed to go. However, when they get to the threshold wherein, sorry, let me back up. Where are you headed to?
Booker is going to be heading towards the black section, but he's not bringing Bite all the way there.
Okay.
Pretty much is discussing strategy with Bite up to the point that he leaves Bite at the restroom.
Okay.
And manages to make sure that Bite knows, and asks Bite to do a few very simple things, which is to in about 10, 20 minutes, send the leak information out so that everyone goes to all the scientists and civilians go to the shuttle bay. And about 15 minutes after that, to send Blomkamp's pod into the cold, empty heart of space. And then from there, with making sure that no shuttle is there to pick him up. And the last thing is to just leave these Bookers on their own self-sustaining area and know that they will eventually pass away in the next few months. Not because of anything we've done, but because their genetic code won't let them live for much more than a few months.
Maiko's not there. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I know. That's why. But Booker's saying it very clearly like this. And he's not trying to mince words or spare feelings. He's just going, they're not going to live for very long. Clones have a short shelf life.
Is that what's going to happen to you?
I am not a clone, but yes. That's why we need to go to the Codex later and get me a new body.
All right, then.
There's a reason I am much more callous and much more less caring about what happens to me. I'm looking out for you guys first. Sorry.
Wait, what?
I was just gonna say, there was a joke in here about her giving him a piece of ass, like, or something at the Codex. I just can't quite phrase it. I'm sure somebody else can pick that up and run with
I'm
it.
sure
but
somebody
Yeah, if somebody
in chat will
finds
get
that
it.
clip, please.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's just, I've not been worried about my own safety due to the fact that I knew I wasn't going to be living for very long. Things will change once the Codex is done, once we're done at the Codex. But the issue right now that we need to be focusing on is that I can do a job that you guys can't. There's a reason I'm willing to do the things and just get ready to do the things on my own. It's not because you are incapable. It's not because I don't believe in you. It's because I know I can do this more easily than anyone else can. And the risk to myself is minimized compared to the risk that it would be to you.
just please remember that the crew would basically be lost without you.
I'm aware. I don't intend to die here. And with you guys, literally puts a kind of ruffles your hair a bit. And with you guys, there's no way there's no way I'd be willing to let you guys go on your own.
He has a hat on right now, too.
No, he lifts the hat, ruffles the hair, then puts the hat back on. You guys are the only thing in my life.
You see
thus
a
making
Booker
me one of
passing
them.
by that sees the Booker ruffling the hair of the delegate from Hierarchy of Baal. And there's definitely an odd look on his face, but he keeps walking.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We found a knot in the hair that the delegate asked me to fix.
Yeah, the Booker keeps going, but
All right. You get back to Maiko. You be safe.
Gotta start a leak, though, first.
Not a real one, please. I don't want to die.
It shouldn't be a real one. If I'm doing this right, which most of the time I am.
I believe in you, but the fact you said it shouldn't be and it should be fine worry me slightly. But you'll do great. You always do. Just make sure you trip the alarm, not release the gas. And then Booker leaves you on your own as he makes his way over to Logos and the scientist.
And Bite is going into the bathroom and going to see if he can get into the system.
okay. Go ahead and I'm going to need another roll for you to get into the very much emergency, procedures. So,
Okay, excuse me. Oh! 7. I've only gone down 13, 14, 10, 7.
okay.
Can you re-roll any of those dice by
They have
question of
as
curiosity?
an expert, they can re-roll one per scene.
Yep. So technically I can. So let me try again. I keep forgetting that I have that reroll.
That's why I asked if you had it.
9.
Okay, so all of these procedures, you realize, they have a lockout that is built into them, so that if an administrative account does any of certain procedures that are flagged as like high risk, basically, that administrative account is shut down until it's re-enabled by basically Blomkamp's personal account. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the ejection of Blomkamp is one such thing that causes a lockout. The tripping of the decontamination system, like the emergency procedures, is another. So you can pick one, but you're not going to be able to do both.
So I can either kill Blomkamp or whatever his name is, or I can start the leak. Start the fake leak.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to send another email to the scientist to give to Booker the message.
Okay.
And then he's going to start the leak.
Okay.
How easily is Booker arriving at location? I will wait until things are finished typing first.
No, actually, go ahead and I'm not even going to make it a roll. Like, basically, all you have to do is act like a soldier in uniform, and that's sort of your whole background. So
Yeah.
So
Not like I have to perform.
Yeah, it's not a perform roll for you. It's a not perform. The RFID chip makes it right through the reader, and you as you're coming in, you hear like a behind you of like the soldiers that has been called off for their medical appointment. And he immediately starts like removing the power armor, and getting into it is going to actually be the one difficulty, because in order to be assigned to this, you presumably have training. Does that make sense? So what I would like you to do is make a wisdom and fix roll.
Fix roll. That's going to be okay.
Because you're trying to figure out how power armor, gets put on without any
Booker
kind of
would know the
training.
basics, but not very well.
As most of your work was like assassinative and special forces, like they didn't put you into this because this is the opposite of what you did.
Yeah, I got a 9.
Okay. Yeah, you seem to be able to be doing it quickly enough that the other Booker doesn't seem to take note. After he's finished removing everything and has taken off, that's when you kind of like, okay, this leg doesn't seem to be powered yet. Something's not connected, and you can kind of take a little bit of time to figure things out.
Yeah.
It's a process that normally takes like a full 20-25 minutes. It's longer than putting on a spacesuit. So.
Okay.
But you managed to avoid accidentally firing into the onboard weapon systems.
That's a good thing.
Okay, so
After that, Booker's going to make his way into the scientist and Logos room.
okay, you see him. So for the scientist, the actor Sam Lloyd.
Yes, I'm definitely not typing up his name real fast. Oh yeah, I know exactly who he is.
Okay, yeah, he's like bent over and looking a little like puzzled at an email. And he kind of like looks over to the cleaning droid that's next to him. He's like, yeah, I don't know what that means either. But he kind of stops what he's working on and looks up at the arrival of Booker. And he looks a little, he squints at the email again. He's like, I just got an email apparently for you. I can't do both.
Booker's going to look a little confused, likely just a second before the leak alarm goes off. If we were to cinematically time that perfectly.
I'm absolutely like,
Ah,
actually, wait, give me one other thing. Byte is seconds from pressing the leak button. Does that make sense? And you're like just about to engage it when a system-wide alarm starts to go off. And you see like alarms starting to flash all through the station. Maiko's going to see them as well, of like all hands to stations, soldiers prepare to deploy surface side.
I don't have the time now, do I? Okay.
But Byte, you have not yet decontaminated the station. Well, contaminated the station. Yeah, and the scientist is no longer looking at his email, but he kind of sees the alarm starting to go off. And you see like a kind of panicked look across his face, and then he immediately dives behind one of the consoles.
Booker's going to walk over to him.
Yeah, and you see he's trying to kind of like squeeze himself behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like it looks like he might have misestimated how skinny he is compared to like how much he can go, but you're getting absolute panic off of him. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on, Doc?
Please don't kill me. I please don't kill me.
Not the plan. Not even slightly the plan.
He looks puzzled. He's like, I was always told, he says, some of the scientists who'd worked on military projects, he says that if the station, he says, was ever attacked, he says they took the scientists out first.
When you say take the scientists out first, do you mean kill them?
I didn't mean to dinner.
Or
I think I'm stuck.
Booker will just, with the help of the power armor, just pull him to his feet.
Yeah, you have an effective strength of 18 while you're in this. So
Yeah. Adding
Um,
5 to my strength. Booker is going to pull him up. Just kind of,
yeah, and he kind of like lifts up into the air. You know what I'm saying? It looks just very, very startled by it. The recon, or the droid logos, kind of across the floor and like starts to crawl up the power armor.
yeah. Logos, can you take him? Logos, can you
there's-
find it? No, sorry.
There's a
Thinking.
moment, and then like you can kind of tell when the system gets taken over by logos. He says, "I now have access to all the power armor in the station."
Okay.
Says,
All of it?
I can't manually override it," he says, "but I can disable all of their weapon systems."
Booker's going to basically crawl out of the power armor as quickly as he can while saying, do it.
Yeah, and the open power armor kind of turns towards the scientist, who looks a little frightened by the very prospect of being eaten by a suit of power armor.
Get in.
It's I won't even make you make the intimidation roll. It's
an intimidation roll?
You don't have to make it. He's not gonna succeed. I'm not even gonna roll. He's very easily intimidated.
What roll would that even be? I don't even have an intimidate button.
I think it is.
Is it lead or perform? Which one?
I would allow either, honestly.
Because I got crap for both.
Okay, so switching over, Maiko, the indication of what it means. The soldiers are kind of looking a little bit like perplexed as well, but they're naturally seem to be following protocols of like heading towards the two troop ships that are on board the station.
What happens if Maiko, like, kind of, is it only the soldiers moving, or is everyone moving?
Yeah, the scientists actually all seem to be like locked in place inside of their little cubicles now. Like you see one of them kind of go up and press the button to come out, like looking like they want to ask questions, then kind of like look surprised as nothing happens and the door remains closed.
Maiko's going to There's no like flip a coin option, is there? In roll.
You can roll 1d2.
I don't know if I can do that.
Then roll a d4 and then just decide between evens and odds.
Okay, there we go.
Or do that. Yeah, that also works.
Okay, so Maiko's going to kind of like touch one of the soldiers going past and be like, what is that? What's going on?
So I guess we're fighting.
Fighting who?
Above my pay grade.
Oh, okay. She's going to let them go.
He kind of points to the sign on the wall and he like laughs. He's like, as much as I do.
What does the sign say?
The sign is like, all hands to stations, soldiers deploy, or report to the dropships.
Okay, this is the opposite of what we wanted. Maiko's gonna go up to the door of the science labs. Is anyone gonna stop her?
Nope, they are all hurrying to the dropships as fast as they can.
And do the doors open from the outside?
No.
There's no like manual open either, is there?
There is for a mechanic. Because every door that is designed to close is designed to be overridden also needs to have ways to get into it to open it if it's just a mechanical failure.
Well, yes, that's sort of like also fire code and shit.
So
This
yeah,
station
with
is
a
not
fixed,
up to code.
Have you seen these cut rate
multi-tool.
bookers?
You
I'm
have
sorry,
a
what was
multi-tool
that?
and you have the fix skill. You can get into these doors with enough time, as long as you don't care about being seen doing it.
Yeah, let's do it. Maiko's gonna start letting the scientists out. She's gonna free the dinosaurs.
Same way that you freed the Okar?
Yeah, this happens to be like a recurring thing.
Maiko frees everyone.
Maiko Chainbreaker.
Maiko the chain breaker. Yes.
First of her name, breaker of chains. Mother of drones.
All right, roll your fix, please.
Intelligence, right?
Yep.
And they are correct. Lure them to the ship with the promise of research grants.
12.
Yeah. The first one, you pop through easily, and by the time the scientist that is like, what is going on?
I don't know, but get the other ones out. Help me open these.
She's like, do I need to get my research? My melons.
I would leave your melons there. Honestly, they are better lost. I'm so sorry. Just get the other doors open.
And she looks like she just takes a moment to like reconcile herself to a hard truth, and then just kind of like.
She's gonna put her hand on the scientist's hand and let her know, like, sometimes it's better to start from scratch.
You might be right.
Here, take this. She's gonna, because she always wears like a bunch of, always has a bunch of tools on her, so she's gonna take a multi-tool, like a spare one, and like give it to the scientist and be like, get them out, get the other ones out. We gotta do this.
She's like, I'm a botanist.
Listen, the tool does most of the work. Just line it up and crank.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. She's just, which part am I lining up?
Do you wanna watch me do one? Do you wanna watch?
You.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You can watch me. Come on. Come on. Let's go.
The two of you are off together. Okay. So there are roughly 30 scientists aboard. There's one now in power armor. Booker, as you're headed out with the one that is with the scientist in power armor, you can see that the only other person in power armor that isn't heading towards the decks is the one guard for the black area that was, is still sort of expecting you to show up and join him for a shift. Logos, like through the power armor's voice modulator, says, "Would you like me to shut him down?"
You would.
Yeah, and you just kind of
Also,
you see the power armor kind of like and seem to like lock him in place.
Also, also, Bite's in this location, Maiko's in this location. Get them out. I need to take care of one thing. And if I get to point me towards Blumkamp's office, I might be able to call off this entire thing.
Logos kind of.
It's not about killing him. It's really not.
Logos says, "I have no objection." And gives you he kind of like takes a moment, and then he takes the data slab that the scientists have and just hands it to Booker to use as like a navigational aid to like where the office is.
Thank you. If they haven't changed their codes yet, I should be able to call for an all system stop.
And Maiko is also in between. I don't know if does she have time in between to like sort of send a voice memo to the others on their data slabs, like, hey, soldiers are deploying, scientists are trapped, opening labs, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
She has the time to do that.
All right. So it's like voice to text, so it's probably like, I mean, I hope that voice to text is a lot more advanced than it is now.
I hear tiny dinosaurs.
I hear screaming.
My
Yes,
window
tiny
is
dinosaurs.
open. It's my neighbors. They're kids.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry, I didn't realize you could hear that.
I'm sorry I mentioned it.
All right.
Hopefully voice to text is better in the 29th century than it is now. Oh my. Oh my.
Oh no.
That's double
Um,
ones.
Yeah, I just rolled to see how well the voice to text on the data slab worked.
So you guys are getting.
Tell me the message that you were going to send.
It was that. It was just. It was soldiers deploying, scientists trapped, opening labs. Like it was very cursory. And then at the end of the message, you probably see like, no, not slabs, labs, no.
Not soldering, deloying.
Okay, give me just 1 second. I'm going to do a quick translate.
Yeah, there is a big grass square outside of that window. Like it's kind of like a little quad in the apartment complex, and the kids play there a lot. I
That's
hear
fun.
tiny dinosaurs a lot.
Only this
It's
was during the
okay.
dinosaur episode.
So you start to like try to correct it, and it's like message sent.
Can I see what the message is?
So for the audience who can't see what we're
Science,
sending
lack
back and
of
forth.
deployment, lack of explanation in the lab.
You should have sent it in roll 20.
I'll
Since
send it
Jack
there
can
too.
see roll 20.
Booker is going to pull out his data slab and type furiously. Not angrily, like furiously as in quickly. After seeing that strange message, just saying soldiers seem to be deploying everywhere. Scientist in power armor going your way. Need to go to Blumkamp's office. See if I can stop soldiers from going. Codes hopefully the same.
Bite is
Okay.
going to end up sending a message back just saying plan 1 failed, going to plan 2. And he's going to try to jettison Blomkamp.
Okay, he's evicting Bloomcamp. So you did make that roll, and you didn't get to pick which one you were doing. So
Yeah.
you are now evicting Bloomcamp. You are now locked out of the black system. You still have red system access. But
Situs is about to be out of the red system anyways. I need to find Blumkamp's computer.
okay, so Bloomcamp's is at the very bottom of the entire station. You head in, after the Imperial Dynasty ship, you're kind of expecting a little bit more opulence. Instead, his office is a thing of just pure efficiency. And you actually kind of see there's like a paneled glass and whatnot that's in front of the tube, and as you're like stepping through, you see the tube just kind of like downwards, like a pneumatic tube at a bank.
And I'm going to consider that problem solved for now.
But there are screens and interactive devices that are inside of the office. It looks like, for the most part, they're used to communicate directly to Bloomcamp by officers and whatnot. So,
yeah. The Booker's going to look for a computer, anything that he can put a code through to change, because he's assuming Blumkamp is still logged in.
Well, not now, because he had been like basically manually wired in the station.
Oh, okay.
And now
not
he
good.
is disconnected from it. But his this isn't, since he's directly wired in, he didn't need to have login and credentials and stuff like that. But this
great.
is his office, and so this is the command station during like an attack. So give me 1 second.
Can Booker attach the considering the arm is yep, that was the
Wrong
wrong thing.
area.
Yep. Considering the arm is connected to Booker's brain, can he connect the wired system into the arm so that he can then, in a command center sort of entranceway? I know I'll probably have to roll to do some stuff.
No, because it's on the other side of that screening area. Does that make sense? That doesn't look like it's designed to retract or easily get into. It might if you
Okay.
still have black clearance, but that would be where Blomkamp's original cybernetic connection was. Does that make sense?
Okay. And it's behind a window, you said?
It's like an entire glass wall, so that they could basically see Blomkamp and he could potentially see that.
How thick is it?
Like designed to resist assault rifle fire.
Booker takes out the sniper
Sustained
and just
assault rifle
push
fire.
it and put it against the glass, because a single sniper shot is stronger than a single
Yes.
shot might be able to crack the glass at least.
Give me just one quick as you're like pulling it out, you hear the door open behind you and you see a Booker in like what looks like a officer's uniform step in. He's still kind of doing, do you know the like walk when you're like recently pulling up your pants from wherever you were, you know what I'm saying, but you hurriedly getting to a destination? He's
Yeah.
kind of midway through that and looks very startled to see anybody in here.
Booker, okay, the first thing he's going to do I have to roll a punch for this? Because I'm not going to hit him, but I'm looking to grab him by the collar.
I will let you make a single just like grapple roll to effectively immobilize him.
Yeah, the punch roll.
Yeah, punch skill. Sorry.
Yeah. And should I use can I use dexterity for that?
Yep.
Excellent. 10.
Sorry, it's a D20 plus punch plus dex,
Oh, sorry.
not
My
a skill
bad.
check.
I thought it was I thought it was skill check. Where is my punching thing? I do not have a punchy thing. I'm just going to use Shiv Booker's disappointment.
Just roll 1d20. That's fine.
I will roll the d20. 16.
Yeah. So it's he is definitely surprised as you are. He's about to like he said, soldiers, you should be, and then you have him and are wrangling him into a chair.
Okay, I need to shut down the attack. Stop it from happening.
Oh my god, where's the governor?
I had no idea. He shot out the bottom of the thing as soon as it happened.
He left us?
Yes. Are you surprised?
Yes.
Oh,
He's our
poor
creator.
Knight.
He made us.
Okay, look at me. I'm not one of you. I'm 800 KR.
Make a charisma and leadership roll real quick.
Charisma leadership. Guys. Six. Oh, thank the gods. Just one higher than that 5 you rolled.
So he seems a little like, aren't you dead?
News of my deceasement was greatly exaggerated.
What are you doing here? Did SBS send you?
No, I sent me.
He looks puzzled.
We're here to stop Bloom. I've been sent here. I came here to stop Blomkamp to make sure that he wouldn't be able to essentially try to. Booker thinks for a moment and just then says, "Stop the SBS from doing what they need to do. They have been very concerned about his actions.
So you are from SBS.
Slightly.
Huh. He says
I've
we
been on.
thought he might have been going off book.
Yes.
He's been ignoring company protocols. He says making up new rules.
Making up new rules and ignoring company protocol? Oh, Booker like pulls out a little pad, just starts writing notes down. Like, this is all such crap. Why am I pretending to do this? But it makes it look like he's actually there to be making notes.
He says, is he trying to escape right now? Do we need to track his pod?
No, I don't believe that'll be of any use. A man as smart as Blumkamp would be sure to make sure we can't track his pod properly.
He says, and he kind of is like tapping on the keyboard. He's like, okay, so this SOS is definitely a fake.
It's definitely a fake.
Says, I'll let ships know. Says not to divert their course to pick it up.
Good. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to make sure that this station, Blumkamp sent this order out without SBS permission.
He says, he kind of like starts to tap through. He says, it looks like we're responding to rebel activity.
That's fake rebel activity. It's not happening.
He says, are you sure? He says, these look like direct requests from the noble houses for military support.
Would I lie to you? 800 KR?
Make another.
Yeah. Is this perform this time?
I'll let you take your choice of talk or perform.
There is no talk. It's lead or perform.
There's a talk skill.
There is?
There is.
Oh, there is. Yeah, I'll do talk. They're both the same level of crap. 5.
He's looking really dicey, you know. He's like, he says, I'll have the ships, he says, report in, he says, to local commands. He says, and verify whether there's trouble or not.
That's a good call. Thank you. Soldier, what's your name?
He says,
Johnny,
Dicer.
you say?
Dicer, he says, I came from food services.
Dicer. Excellent. Well, be sure. Well, let's hope that, well, with the help that you're giving me, we should be able to see a nice promotion in your future.
Kind of begins to communicate to the ships. He's typing rapidly on the keyboard. So
try to call off as much as you can. Some may be a little too far gone and have been listening to Blumkamp too long.
Says I'll divert them. He says known safe. He says air pads.
Thank you, Dicer. Oh, last thing. The scientists seem to be locked into their rooms.
He says that's standard protocol.
Yes, but I heard that there may be a chemical leak going. There may be a chemical leak that hasn't been able to be that the alarms didn't trip properly. We need to be able to get them out and get them to the shuttle bay.
He says, let me communicate, he says, with chemical labs and see if they've got any evidence of that.
Logos, please help.
Yeah, Logos kind of like in the red sector, you kind of see the power armor that's carrying scientist. It turns and it's like visor seems to like scan across part of the ceiling, and then one of the arms comes up and just like opens fire into it. You see sprinklers start to go off. It doesn't look like there's actually like any chemical leaks or anything like that. It's just setting off every like red alert and alarm and sprinkler systems. And
okay, is that what Dicer is saying, or
no, that like Logos just responded to that in the help request.
Well, then
Dicer's kind of like, oh, it looks like we've got something on the red floors. This is
we need to open we should try to open all of the labs so that the scientists can get out to the shuttle bay, including the green sectors, just in case it spreads.
I can open the green and orange sectors, he says. That shouldn't be a problem. He says the red and black sectors, he says, require Blumkamp's approval.
I have
says I can divert some soldiers away from boarding to go try to open those up.
Actually, May I give it a shot? Because I should still have red access.
Yeah, if nothing else, you can easily talk to Bite through the system.
Yeah, and yeah, Booker's gonna send a message to Bite just in case this doesn't work. Be ready to open those doors. But Booker is going to walk in and goes, I have special SPS approval. Black sectors are a little bit above my pay grade, but I should be able to get the red sectors no issue.
He says, I hope it works. So, okay. So, Maiko, as you're working on, you've already got like the fourth of the green sector doors open. And then the remainder of the green and the orange like pop right open. The botanist who was trying her own door on her own for the very first time had just touched the screwdriver to it, and she's like, that was really easy.
Great. Good job. Proud of you.
But you can see that all of the other doors are opening. Most of the scientists can see each other, so they see that you've been working on getting doors open anyway. And they are like headed in your direction just out of like assuming that you know what's going on.
Okay. Well, first of all, Maiko's not going to point out to the scientist that all of the doors popped open when she popped that. Like, she's just not going to point it out. And the people that are headed in her direction, so I heard, I couldn't help but overhear, that, they're gonna start setting off, like, basically alarms in a minute. How long until that happens?
They're actually you can hear them going off in like the red area, and then you see one of the power armored Booker like coming down the steps from the red area. And after a moment, he lifts a hand and sort of waves at you, and you see like the plate pop open long enough for you to see the scientist's face, and then it closes again.
So the first thing that Maiko is gonna do when she sees the powered armor coming toward her is like fucking start to run. And then she sees like the wave and kind of and sees the scientist's face and then like stops. Okay, all right, okay. Well, so there's an emergency on the station. Maiko's just gonna start talking to them as if she is in charge.
Okay.
Let one of them say something about it, because they're sure not. So she's gonna start just sort of being like, okay, so do you probably know where your escape pods are? Like, actually, they probably don't, huh? Because they were expected to die.
If you want to get them onto the station or onto your ship, then your shuttle is here.
Yeah.
With Nico in it.
How big is our shuttle?
It's going to be cramped with 30-odd people in it, but if he flies half of them and you fly one of the other shuttles that's on board...
I'm excited for the flight thing again. Okay, all right, okay. So, there's a shuttle in dock 41565. Please go that way. Please get on that shuttle. And we will try to get you to safety. Obviously, things are not doing well right now, so we have to get you off of the station, now. Go. Walk, don't run.
Go ahead and make a charisma and lead roll real quick for me.
I didn't get out my dice for this, so I'm gonna try the Roll20 dice and hope that they don't hate me. They always do. I love you, Roll20. I love you so much. You're such a good BTT. I love you. You said talk, right? Or lead?
Lead. Lead in charisma.
Can I use talk instead?
Nope, not in this case.
Fuck! 8.
Okay. Yeah, they're mostly organized, you know. they're nobody seems to be going in the wrong direction. Some of them could do with a lot more urgency. But yeah, you're quickly going to get the estimate that if it's split in half, it's going to be a lot faster loading people, and you're not going to be trying to cram them in like you would into like a subway car.
Okay, all right, new plan. Modification to plan. So why don't we put you guys start going into that shuttle? Yeah, you guys over here,
Yep.
and like start doing she's gonna start doing the I don't know, the air traffic control thing. Or the what is it, the flight attendant thing?
Yeah. You see the power armor kind of like steps up next to you, and then it just sort of like almost spits out at the scientist. Does that make sense? Like it opens fast enough that he kind of stumbles out of it and looks a little startled.
Michael
and
also looks startled.
It's like this. I think the cleaning droid took over the armor somehow.
Hi, it's nice to see you again. I'm glad to see you out of your lab and that you're not hurt. Can you get on the shuttle that Nico is flying?
Yes, are we? Kind of leans at me. Are we escaping?
It's just an evacuation. It's we are we're just evacuating the station for safety.
He just sort of like nods excitedly and and he kind of like, come on, everybody, heads towards one of the two shuttles, and by enthusiasm alone, which you're saying they're just not even used to seeing him remotely enthusiastic, and some of the scientists just out of sheer curiosity are like, I guess we'll go after him.
Guess we're going. Cool.
Did Logo stop and pick up Bite as well?
Logos kind of like the power armor turns towards Maiko, and the visor kind of snaps down and the voice modulator comes back on, and it's like, do you need me to go collect the others? Or are you good from here?
Which others? Scientists?
He says there are still 4 scientists in the red area.
Yes.
He says they've not been unlocked yet.
Yes.
He says, as well as Bite and Booker.
You go get Bite and Booker. I'll get the red scientists.
He nods.
And Maiko's going to kind of step into the shuttle long enough to to tell Nico, like, take off with whoever you can fit in this shuttle, bring them to our ship, and then wait for a signal to come back if you need to. Don't come back unless we tell you to.
He says, got it.
Take as many as you can. I don't care if they feel like sardines.
Yeah, and he kind of the first and second shuttle dock, right next to each other, and he steps out and very, kind of like country boy style. All right, you don't got a pilot yet. Come on this way.
And then she's going to step into the other shuttle and just be like, if you can't get onto the first shuttle, stay in this shuttle. This shuttle is leaving in a few minutes, with or without you. If you leave the shuttle and the shuttle departs, it will not come back for you. So stay here.
One of the scientists is like, I can fly this. And the other scientist standing next to him is like, no, Murray, you can't. You just think you can because you play these games all day.
And like, Maiko's gonna...
I have flown a shuttle very similar to this several times.
If you touch the controls, I will kill you.
You want me to do the startup sequence at least? I know the startup sequence.
No.
And like the other scientist, like, Murray, leave it to the professionals. I'll take care of him. Don't worry. He's like this about everything. Look at the
second scientist and be like, if he tries to touch the controls, shoot him. And then she's gonna turn and leave.
She's like, he's lactose intolerant. All I have to do is shake some cheese at him.
And so Maiko's going to run
at him, or just in his general direction.
Maiko's going to run flat out to the orange section. Hopefully she doesn't run into any guards on the way, but if she does, she'll deal with it. Like, she's not even trying to be sneaky anymore.
There, as she's coming up to the red section, she sees the one guard at the front of the black section that's still inside of the armor. It's kind of like...
She's just kind of gonna freeze for a second when she sees him, like a cat that's been caught not doing anything wrong, honest to God. But when it doesn't move, she's gonna just like kind of wave at it a little bit and then stick her tongue out at it. And when it doesn't do anything, then she's gonna go to the lab and like start working on opening it.
Okay. Yeah. So the red doors, like, this is the one sort of, problem with their security system. The red doors are no more difficult to manually get through than the green or the orange ones were. They're just, under a tighter security protocol, but they didn't actually manufacture them considerably differently or anything like that. So it's a short order before the other scientists are free, looking exceptionally grateful. And a power armor shows up in the nobles' quarters where Bite is at, and like pops right open. Gorgeus is like ready to go for a trip.
Wait, you were talking to Bite?
Mm-hmm. Gorgeus is showing up in the secure area as power armor.
Oh,
we're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship.
Yeah. Bite would have actually had his headphones in because he was hacking and had music, and you just see him like look up. He's taken off the hat. He's done with it. And he's like, "We're leaving? Good."
Yeah, it's transformered open.
We're going, I'm going off on an adventure.
And I guess we'll get in.
Yeah.
Like,
seals around.
He'll just turn back on his music.
Yeah, the power comes running back out. Booker, you have directions to the shuttle bay from appearing on your data pad.
Booker is about to head off. He just tells Dicer, "Don't tell anyone about me. My existence needs to be kept a secret."
He's like, "I definitely won't tell anyone."
Excellent.
With the kind of saying that says that it is very much going to be handed around once he's drunk.
Yeah. But will people believe him at that point? Like, I saw the real Booker. No, you didn't. Get off your ass, Dicer.
It's speculative as to which way that's going to go. But
yeah.
You can see that the shuttles are getting ready to go.
Booker's also stopping in the lab one last time that the scientist was in, looking at the giant console terminals, grabbing out a little accelerant, and lighting it on fire, then immediately getting out the door and getting the hell out of Dodge.
So the console terminals that are inside of the office?
No, not the ones that are inside the scientist area, not...
Oh, okay. Oh.
He's making sure that any of the data that was on there is gone.
Yeah, I'm actually assuming that that's what Bite is also working on as well, is deleting it out of the system before they're going.
Yeah, he's spending some time just if Booker's in the room, he'll just slowly see it go bloop, 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 and it just is deleted, file deleted.
Booker's still gonna set it on fire just in case.
Yeah, the one thing that is
you can't hack molten plastic.
The one thing that is in the area that you are in, Booker, is the vessel they have that contains the original prion from Rasama.
Oh,
or from Ramesses.
He's gonna put that very carefully in the trash can. That's not a good
thing to light on fire either.
And then he's gonna put that in the trash can, just push that outside the door a little bit, set everything else on fire, then push it back in, and then close the door and then run off.
All right.
They're real Bookerness. Nice.
All right. All right, so I'm gonna.
Look, they're not just Bookers;
forward.
They're manuscripts.
Just for my own sake, I would like to make one pilot roll. just to see if her curse is broken as yet.
Why do you do this to me? What attribute should I be using, Great
Sorry,
Leader?
Dex, and Pilot. I thought you said, "Why do you do this to me?" Not.
I did say,
No,
why do you
oh,
do
okay.
this
She said
to me?
both.
That's 6.
Okay.
Can
Okay.
Booker help take command a bit if things are about to go really dicey? It's not going to be a lot better, but there's still a chance.
I'll let you make a leadership roll to do an inspiration.
Yep. And charisma.
You're my inspiration.
5! Micah, whatever you do, don't crash.
You bring feeling
That's
to
the
my
entire
life.
thing.
You're my inspiration.
I wanna have you near me. Wanna have you near beside me.
So you're coming into the actual like Proxima Acres itself, and the power armor containing Bite speaks up and is like, slow your rate, slow your rate, slow your rate. And then
Booker then takes a moment and goes, why didn't we just let logos fly the entire time?
There's a bit of like a like denting of like one of the cargo containers.
That one scientist is like, watch it, watch it, watch it. And she's like, shut up.
Yeah, there's a lot of distracting voices, but
Some
you do manage. And then manage to get the magnetic clamps connected close enough to the train station that you'll be able to get people in through that. They all have to suit up and wear suits to spacewalk. And the little droid pops out of the Logos armor after releasing Bite from it, and is like, please get installed back into the Icarus as soon as possible.
Oh, please, we should do that.
Absolutely, let's go.
You didn't like having legs?
Says, I enjoyed legs. I did not enjoy being step-onable.
I mean, that's valid. I get that in my soul.
I can't. I've always been tall. I remember even distinctly as a child wearing a very tall hat.
Shut up, okay.
I am going to kind of fast forward through the next little while. As the battle is actually like ongoing down on the planet side. The Logos is able to relay the approaches of the two troop ships as they're coming in to the weapon systems that are under the control of the rebel forces. Both of them are hit by EMPs as they're coming down. Logos relays it in such a way that they are basically being taken out of commission, but not necessarily like wholesale killed. They're just performing an unexpected stop on the ground.
Booker's pretty happy he didn't have to kill Dicer, mostly for the fact that killing himself is kind of a weird thing to see. Like, just slowly pushing his shiv through the neck, shh, and then just going, Booker, why me?
So there's actually only 2 Bookers that are like left on the whole station. There's Dicer, and there's the one that's trapped inside the power armor.
I could have brought them with us.
We could have, but
Didn't think of it. There was a lot going on.
But almost as soon as you're aboard the station, there are communications from Jamais asking to the Proxima Icarus to serve as sort of the communication hub for the rebel forces that are fighting. With the loss of the Booker military infrastructure, then it comes down to the noble forces and the rebel forces. And bottom line, the rebel forces have the advantage of surprise, and the noble forces were expecting others to be doing the fighting for them.
Oh, that's never a good
Yeah,
look.
noble forces.
That's never a good look.
There's for everybody, there's sort of very brief first taste of ship combat, but it mostly involves shooting out the engines from ships that are trying to take off while you're in orbit, and forcing them to ground again so that they can't, redeploy or join the fight.
How are you able to do that, Booker? Sniper.
It's several tense hours. Some of the scientists realize a lot faster than others that they have actually been rescued and or escaped. Others, hours later are just like, so when do I get to go back to my lab?
Tell me that we blew up the station in a very showy, there's no oxygen in space, but I want to see fire.
Is the intention to fully blow up the station once you guys are away from it?
I mean, that's why Booker also set fire to a bunch of stuff on the way out, so yes.
Okay.
Wait,
are you...
do we know, okay, so Michael will probably...
All right, we're on the shuttle. Go, 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 go.
I'll leave it up to you if Booker wants to have broadcast a message to Dicer to evacuate the last two people on the station before blowing it up.
Booker would have sent a message to Dicer and go, you might want to get off the station. Just some
Rebels
friendly
planted
advice.
Bombs.
Yeah, so, some rebels planted some bombs. There's maybe a chance you'll die suddenly in a horrible fiery explosion of death. Maybe you should get off.
It takes him a solid 20 minutes to drag off the other one in power armor too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Booker didn't say anything about the one in power armor.
It's like the cheer statue in Buffy.
All right. So the
okay, so we blew up the station in dramatic fashion.
Yeah, you have the primary weapons on board, both the Proxima Icarus and the mining ship, both of which deployed to quick effect to take the station down. The station doesn't have any weapon systems that are operable without any people aboard. It's several hours later that you're hailed by Jamais.
Maiko's definitely gonna nudge Bite and be like, "You should take the call."
Okay.
Michael, that might be moving a little too fast, but
he's the comms officer. It would.
He is.
Sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Bite, put her through.
And he does, and just puts her through to the captain, and then sits back very, very quietly.
Thank you so much, Bite. You have been an integral part of this team. He looks directly at you, giving you praise to do that.
Jamais looks, she's still wearing the bodysuit that she was before, the spacesuit and everything. There's a couple of signs of damage. It looked like she's been involved directly in fighting. But she smiles to see you. She says, that went a lot better than we expected.
But...
She says, we figured it was inevitable that at least one of the cells might have been compromised, and once we began sending out information, they moved to notify the nobles. That's why things went south on the ground, and I'm sorry about that, but we knew it was a risk.
Don't worry, everything worked out well up here.
We got you enough time then?
Yes. And Bloomcamp should be somewhere in space.
She says so we can put him on trial.
If you find him.
Do you have a general idea where in space he is?
No.
He
went through the floor.
So he's probably within the gravity well.
In all likelihood, yes.
So, how
don't
many
let
hours
him
ago
out
was
of his
this?
pod. Booker does the math. You might just want to get Noble dressed like him, anyways. In the pod, he wasn't going to look very.
Um,
Oh, sorry, what's the word? In the pod where he's slowly dying, he probably doesn't look very
Intimidating?
Convictable?
Threatening?
No, convictable.
Okay.
That's the word I'm using.
You mean competent to stand trial?
Yes.
She says, I don't know how long it'll take before he reaches atmosphere and would burn up inside of it. If we can find him before then, we'll find him before then. And if not,
That's great. And if you can't, well, it's really a shame.
Maiko's in engineering, otherwise she would kick Booker under the table.
Sorry, one of the scientists left off a space dog that needed to be taken care of.
yeah, Maiko's having a reunion with Rolo, I assume.
I missed you so much, Rolo!
So what's your name? Charlotte. Oh, good space dog.
All right. The Jamae will. She says, "I understand if you'd like to take whatever reward we can offer." She says, and make your way. She says, but I'd like to talk to you about another proposal. She says, I can send you coordinates. She says, if you're willing to come down and we can talk things out face to face.
How long would that take us to get to ground?
2 hours.
Let's do it. Because the reward we're most hoping for is cooperation.
She says, and if you want, she says, I can meet you up on the station, on the refueling station.
No, I think planetside. I've got some business there anyways.
She says, probably be nice to see some more of the planet that you helped to save.
Yeah. It'd be a nice reward.
She says, well, then I'm going to make sure that we've got a feast prepared.
All right.
Skip
And
the
then he quickly goes into
melons.
comms. Maiko, what kind of food do you like?
What kind of food do I like? I'm trying to think of what's like delicacies back home, like where she grew up, and she's going to, it would be nice to actually get some fresh seafood for once. Like, we got some on the station, and it just sort of gave me a taste for like the fresh stuff.
And Booker, not trying to embarrass Bite, kind of sends a message. What kind of food would you like at the feast?
Burgers.
My brain is saying grilled cheese for some reason.
Grilled cheese is amazing. Mac
No,
and cheese.
he's going to think for a moment, and just send back. I really miss pizza.
Aw.
Pizza it is. All right, and I would like. You know what? I'll just try a bunch of things. NutriCubes aren't very good. They're little nutrition cubes. They suck.
But they're good for you.
All the moisture out of your mouth.
You come down into a space station that is definitely, or not a space station,
Landing station?
yes, thank you, landing
Spaceport?
strip that has definitely shown some of the signs of recent battle. The architecture is it's a mix of different styles. Like the Bite had read some of the history to suggest that there'd been like multiple overthrows and stuff like that, and each of them trying to like make a new architectural stamp in the area around them, which has led to a certain sort of chaos in most of the city that you guys can see. It is your first time also seeing Jamae outside of the suit. She's actually wearing like a full-on dress, one that is definitely looking to impress in. Hair done, makeup, you know what I'm saying? And like moves to give everybody an embrace, probably saving Bite for last.
Booker's going to give her a firm handshake.
Yeah, and she like puts a hand on his like upper shoulder, gives it a squeeze, looks to Maiko to see if she's willing to, if she's a hugger.
If she's a what?
A
A
hugger.
hugger.
I don't. What did you hear?
Very concerned now.
She is a hugger, as you know. She's probably also still. I don't know. How long did it take? Oh, she gets to dress up as like what she actually looks like in her like character art, like not in a vac suit. Oh
Right,
man,
like top hat and
like the actual like the hat and like the that's awesome. So she's in her little coat, in her hat. She's got her hair done. She's like super she looks like kind of a version of what Bite looked like, only in miniature. Like she's just like done up all fancy because she fabricated herself some clothes from home and such like that. And she's clearly happy to be dressed up again. Like she clearly like is feeling herself. And yeah, she she starts to hug Jamais kind of around the waist and then is like, come here, come down here. And
Yeah,
then like gives
she
her a
drops
hug
down to
around
a
like
knee.
the shoulders.
yeah, and Jamae is kind of like, "Can I lift you?"
I would prefer you didn't.
Yeah, and she accepts that and gives a squeeze back before coming over to Bite. How is Bite dressed?
Bite is back in his hoodie and his black jeans and
Much
his
to the dismay
boots.
of everyone.
Yes.
Does
The
Bite
minute he
take
got the choice,
constructive
he's like,
feedback?
back.
Like before they're ready, like before they're headed down, Maiko's gonna look Booker or Bite over and ask him like, Bite, do you take constructive feedback on your outfit?
I mean, is there something wrong with it? It's comfy.
We're going to.
Yes, it can't stop a
feast.
bullet.
Shut up, Booker. We're going to a feast. It's a celebration. You should wear something comfortable, but perhaps something a little bit nicer. I can fabricate you whatever you want.
This is kind of all my clothes have ever been. I don't go to the fancy things.
Well, I mean, you'll be happier if you're comfortable, but the option's open if you're there.
What?
Maybe like a long-sleeved shirt instead of a hoodie?
And
Perhaps
something
one
in a
with
color
buttons?
that doesn't.
Like he'll
Something
take
in
off
the
his
color
hoodie
that's not
for the
black?
first time, showing a black like collared shirt with like 3 buttons. I mean, this is kind of what I always wear.
How do you feel? And what color are Bite's eyes?
I
Do you
totally
remember?
know this. This isn't totally me going to check the character art or anything.
I'm sorry.
I think his eyes are brown.
So she's going to be like, she's gonna bring up like a color, like a very deep, like kind of chocolatey maroon color, like the kind of thing that like looks like makes your eyes kind of look like velvety chocolate when you wear it, like when somebody in brown or somebody with brown eyes like kind of wears it. And she's gonna, it's like a tailored blouse rather than like a polo, like what you described. So it's like a button down. It'll fit him really nicely. Like it'll be kind of like a satiny color, or something like that. You know. Wow, what is Stream doing? Is anyone else
What?
seeing that?
Oh, that is real creepy. Okay.
Something happened. I have it on pause.
I'm apparently the only one frozen.
I have no idea.
Excuse me, it seems to have recovered. Anyway, so she'll like kind of work up a little 3D model, like a CAD model of it, and just be like, how do you feel about this?
You know, after everything we've been through, Maiko, I want you to design an outfit for me. And you can see him like fighting this so that Jameis thinks I look nice.
She's gonna like kind of rub his arms and like encouragingly, like kind of like a coach, like hyping up one of their players, like kind of reach up and like rub his arms and be like, look, You'll be mostly in dark colors. You'll just be. We can even do like a charcoal gray, and she'll like change the color. Do you like gray better? And we can put you in black slacks.
I'm gonna trust you on this because I have no idea how to interact with humans, and I don't know what I'm doing.
So yeah, she's gonna put him in some nice she's gonna stick to the darker color. So the maroon color I described in like a nice tailored like suit shirt. She's gonna steer clear of like a tie, but she'll make him like, I don't know, not quite a blazer, but like almost like a sport coat, like a black one that he can put over, that has a hood that like unfolds, like if he wants. So it'll zip up and hood up if he wants, and she'll show him how to do that. But like, she's like, but it looks nicer without the hood. And like tailored like black slacks and like low top, like black sneaker loafer type things, like, so like close to what he usually wears, but like maybe a little dressier, you know, kind of jazzing it up. She's gonna like comb his hair for him. Does he has like longish hair, right?
Yeah, he does. And the part that you never see is that he actually has an undercut.
Nice.
So like all of that.
So she's gonna like jazz up his hair for him too. She's gonna give it, you know, Steve from Stranger Things, like who's like a little bit of hairspray or whatever. Like she's gonna give him like a little bit of the Steve treatment, like where it looks all like model messy or whatever. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, Sia. So like I just had to step in.
Let me just do a quick check-in, because like we are at the end of an arc, and so I don't really want to like go into a next episode with this. I want to like move time forward with the next one. But I also understand we're at our 9 o'clock right now. So normally be when the curtain comes down. So I want to do like a quick wellness check to see if people are good to go for a little bit longer.
I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, I didn't realize it was 8.
Because Booker would also like an opinion on his clothes later, because he's going, which of these shirts has fewer bloodstains?
So
trust
there
Maiko.
was a whole thing where Maiko like helped Bite as much, like asked him if he took feedback, and then like offered her feedback and like tried to help him out with how he looks. So when he meets Jamais, hopefully he looks like really snazzy and he hasn't retreated to his hoodie.
Give me a quick charisma and talk roll for the like Maiko or quality.
Me, right? Or Bite?
Mm-hmm. No, you.
Okay, charisma and talk. I don't remember what my charisma is. I got a 6. What is it with me and 6s tonight? Gesundheit.
And you are also an expert, so and we're at the end of the session. I don't think you can use a reroll. So if you want to.
Yeah, I do want to re-roll that. I want to blow her away. Yep, I do. Re-roll charisma. Can I just re-roll the whole thing?
Yeah.
10.
There we go.
That's a little bit better.
All right. You can tell, like, Jimmy very much smiles when she sees Spike made up. And she kind of steps forward and unabashedly, like, gives him a peck on the cheek before wrapping her arms around him.
You just see a thumbs up from Booker. And I'm assuming Maiko as well.
Maiko's gonna slowly reach her hand over and, like, pull the thumbs up down.
But he's doing so well.
Because you both notice that he's like slightly panicked at the kiss.
Yeah, and Jimmy says, "You look very handsome."
I got some help.
She says, "Would you be my escort tonight?"
Looks over to Maiko. Sure.
She forgets that she just like pulled his arm down, and she's like.
Yeah, and Jimmy like slides an arm like into Bite's.
Bite is the sweetest.
She says, "You understand that being my escort," she says, "you are obligated to have a dance with me."
Yeah, I've been told. Mm-hmm.
And she just like gives a very radiant smile and heads in with them. It's like a very small assemblage. Like in fact, instead of like being nobles, most of them are like rebellion leaders who have run their own cells or been critical and are now kind of helping to rebuild. This is like for many of them the first opportunity they've had to have a big meal and sort of celebrate things and discuss everything that they'd seen and whatnot. They have like a news feed on that's kind of going up of like the people on the refueling station that are running around like ripping down every screen that's been showing an SBS ad for the past several months or years. The screens could very easily just show something else, but it seems to be symbolically therapeutic. They have everything that's been requested at the feast, and then there's also quite a lot of like local delicacies that they've worked out, which is they have one of like the widest natural ecologies in all of the sector, which means that they've got a wide array of access to like spices and different like types of pastas, and there's a very rich range of foods that have been put forward. Shumei makes sure that Bite is sitting next to him the whole time. And whenever conversations kind of like turn from like the important announcements that need to be made, she happily makes conversation. The fact that she had put together the entire security system on the station that Bite got into a fight over before eventually booting her from her own system. She's like asking questions like, how did you do that? What would you suggest? Like keeping things in a wheelhouse of things that Bite's comfortable talking about.
Oh, and if it's that he's talking about, he's like the most talkative anyone has ever seen him, because he is explaining like all the hacking and all of the code and everything.
Yeah. There's.
I'd like to imagine Booker shares a brief look with Maiko.
Maiko's like, she's good.
She very much is.
Then Booker has quite a bit of like a nervous reaction at first. Like you're literally the face of the enemy to most of them.
Yeah, Booker is not surprised at this at all.
But Jimei makes a point of kind of like, no, this is the person whose identity they stole to make the Bookers because he was such an exceptional soldier. And like, there's a lot of kind of doing their best to like pull stories out of you. The Booker's sense of humor about like, and then we shoot it, and seems to work very well with a lot of the rebel leaders who have spent their time in various military operations and whatnot, and learning military protocol. There's a lot of kind of discussions of the last engagements and whatnot. You can tell like some of them are definitely at one point, kind of as you're being talked to by several of them, Jimei pulls you aside and asks a question of like basically asking for your recommendation of those that he's been talking to for a new like Secretary of Defense, effectively, for the planet.
That is an interesting query.
And like doesn't expect him to be ready with an answer just yet, but to kind of to go to talk to them and who has the best head on their shoulders for his recommendation, and very much gets the impression she's going to take whoever he recommends.
Yes.
And for Maiko, Jimei kind of like, I know this isn't a ship's engines or a ship's infrastructure, she says, but we have a lot of systems on the planet that could really use an engineer's viewpoint. She says, I'm wondering if I can, we have more to talk about later after the feast, but I'm wondering if you will all be here for a while, if I can count on you to take a tour of some of the systems and make suggestions about repairs and priorities.
Maiko's gonna kind of glance at Booker at that point to see what he says, or if he has any kind of input with regard to how long they're going to be there.
This is where Booker will take a little bit of the control from the conversation. This is something that I was hoping to discuss with you guys. After a military coup like this happens, usually there is a period of time of great turmoil and stress for the people and for the planet itself. So what I was hoping we would do is to stay here for a period of time to make sure things stay smoothly and to ensure as much prosperity for this area as we can. The people here have been under the thumb of a corporation for too long. And what we should do is help them to make sure that they don't get taken over so easily ever again. War isn't just... And Booker's getting into kind of a speechy thing at this point. I imagine some people are looking at him as he's saying this. War isn't just the fight. War is making sure the fight doesn't happen again. War is doing everything possible to make sure that the change that you've made is lasting change. To make sure that the people that we helped protect, the people that you helped fight for, stay happy, healthy, and well. We are not individuals anymore. We are a group and a community that wishes to help one another. We need to be there for each other.
Yeah, and there's like some applause that goes up from those who are listening at that point. It doesn't quite leave with, Jimmy will ask Mako again a little bit later once after he's had a chance to speech, but you've also established you're going to be staying here for a little while.
Booker does very clear. I would like to stay, but that is a decision that we will make together. I may be captain, but my officers' opinions are more important to me than anything else.
Maiko will look at Jemai and she'll just kind of nod and reply, I'll be happy to take a look at whatever I can. I also have a few experienced people from my department who might not mind making a home on your planet or in this system if you ask them nicely, or if I ask for anyone who wants to stick around. So that's an option as well.
And she says, and honestly, there might be a few people who find that setting up for peace isn't quite as exciting as the rebellion that they were a part of, and might like a shipboard life for a little bit more excitement.
Well, they'd have to talk to our captain. He's the one that makes the decisions around here.
She says, for now, we should have some dancing.
Oh, yay, dancing!
And there's a live music. She strides straight over to Buddy.
Oh, no. She says dancing, and Maiko's like, oh, dancing! And, grabs her hands and goes out to the floor or whatever, the cleared space. And, immediately, she knows how to dance with a taller person and, knows how to, move in a way that is easy. She's used to being, dancing with humans and whatever. So she's gonna pull Jemai into a dance that she would do with, her adopted family or whatever.
Yeah, Jemai is very game for it, and very much clearly enjoys dancing for its own sake. The gown that she's wearing is all silk and light, catching very much even more of an eyeful once it's in motion. Does that make sense? She and most of the rebels that are there and whatnot seem to throw themselves into it just out of they didn't really know if this kind of day was gonna come. You know what I'm saying? And they put a lot on the line for it. There's bachelors and bachelorettes that approach Booker. See if you would like to dance.
Booker declines a few of the bachelors, unfortunately, outing himself as straight. Um, to maybe some polite, not upset, not being like disappointment. That's the word. But then we'll dance with a few people, although it's very stiff and he doesn't know what he's doing.
And Maiko is totally comfortable with like going and snatching a dance with Booker. As soon as she releases Jamais to go pounce on Bite.
Yeah. And so after she's had, like a few dances and had some flush in her skin, that's when she wakes her way over to Bite. I'm assuming Bite hasn't gotten onto the dance floor of his own accord before then.
If anything, Bite has found a place to hide.
Oh no!
He's like, I'm taking this moment to my advantage, and no one is looking at me. I am hiding.
Jamais is like a bloodhound. There's, like the room that you're in is like several like very large pillars and stuff like that support like a huge arched roof. You know what I'm saying? And while he's kind of like peeking around one side of the pillar, she like taps his shoulder from the other side behind him.
Yeah, you see him jump. I'm gonna warn you, I am not the best dancer.
She says, "Are you nervous?"
Yeah.
She says, "Because people are watching or because it's me?"
Both.
Sorry.
She steps closer and she puts her arms up on Bite's shoulders and kind of like wraps her hands behind his head.
It would be below because he's probably shorter, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, a little bit, but it's still kind of like done so that he can put his hands on her hips or around her waist, and then she kind of like smiles. She's like, "Come a little closer."
He is the only saying I know for this is because it was told to me when I was a kid. Space for Jesus. That is absolutely how he is dancing.
Yeah, and she just kind of like she leans just enough that there's like hip to hip contact, and is kind of leading him with that. Does that make sense? It's very subtle. She's not trying to do anything like fast or like complicated steps. It's just that more like the wedding sway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The middle school dance.
Exactly.
She says, "Well, you don't have to care about what anybody watching thinks." She says, "And you don't have to worry about me. I'm already impressed."
He's just like, like trying not to step on her feet, like
Just step down.
He's that awkward kid, just like,
Yeah, and she kind of like runs a thumb over like the blush that's on his cheek. And she gives it a little smile and she's like, "Have you ever kissed anyone before?"
No. When I left Earth, I had kind of been only focused on my studies.
She says, "I got that impression." She says that your life was razor focused. She says, "And I understand that." She says, "I went to law school here." She says, "I was a minor noble from a minor family." She says, "The only way that I could go up," she says, "was to work harder than anybody else."
Yeah, being a kid from in the middle of nowhere doesn't exactly offer you much choice.
She says, "I'm probably smarter than everybody around you."
Yeah, I know the feeling.
She says, You are, she says, well, from what I understand, you're probably a lot older than me. He says, but in terms of lived years, she says, I have the impression, she says, a lot younger than me.
Say that again.
She says, in terms of lived years, I have the impression a lot younger than me.
Technically, I'm 19. But after being in cryo, I'm 600 something.
She says, I think that puts you in a position of being whatever age you feel like on the inside.
I haven't figured that quite out.
She says, I don't want to take anything from you that you're not willing to give. She says, whether that's your first kiss, she says, whether that's your first time spending the night with somebody. She says, don't panic.
Yeah, if I could just get them like the
She says, but I just want you to know, she says, I want to kiss you. She says, and I want to spend that night with you.
If I'm to understand the social custom of it, I will not be very good.
She kind of gives a smile at that, and she says, do you know how you get better? And leans in. And then right against Bite's lips, she whispers, practice.
If you wish, and he's saying this as like the most awkward he can. If you do wish to date, I would not be against it.
She gives a smile. And she says, can I kiss you?
Sure.
And she makes a slow thing of it. She puts her hands on both sides of his face. She leans in. It takes a moment before Bite kind of realizes that Bite has been wholly pinned against the pillar that they were hiding behind. Nobody can see it, the dance floor. I mean, it's very possible Booker and Mike are totally stalking out this moment. Most of the people that are out there are like oblivious to it happening.
If they are, he would be totally okay with it because he's already like right after it happens, he's gonna find them and he's gonna be like, I have.
Booker has total situational awareness. Something's happening behind a pillar. He doesn't know what.
It's long. It's, any kind of initial nervousness, she's patient enough to just kind of like wait it out. Does that make sense? And then she kind of like leans back and she smiles and she's, I need to get back to old people.
Understood.
She says, pick me up tomorrow.
For lunch? Does that sound good?
She says, I'll let you make the plans.
All right.
And when Bite returns, I don't know if Bite's aware of it, but Bite has a very large lipstick mark.
He has probably sat down behind the pillar, like slightly panicking.
Can I like make a notice roll or something for Maiko?
I kind of a picture that Maiko had been, keeping an eye on Bite the whole time because knew that Bite was having a bit of social anxiety about the whole thing. And she when Jamae is returning, so.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Maiko probably sees Jamae come out from behind the pillar, like, probably grinning, probably, like, looking really, like, sappy. And Maiko's like, I know that look.
Yeah, there's definitely some swish in our walk.
So Maiko's gonna, like, kind of creep behind the pillar, try to be unnoticed about it, but, like, creep behind the pillar.
He's so in his own head right now, and just like when you do sneak up on him, he's sitting with his knees against his body, just like staring off into the farthest reaches of space.
But are you okay?
I have a girlfriend.
I can't think of a better place to drop the curtain. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that seems like the absolute best place that we could.
The reaction I just had is totally in character.
Is there a like a piercing shriek of delight that can be heard outside of the pillar?
No, probably not. At least not by anyone who's not a dog.
This is if there was Booker is immediately there's a weapon drawn. He's looking around. What the hell is happening?
No, at that, I would really hope Michael would just be like, Booker, over here now.
So we'll for the next session we'll have some of the kind of initial discussion of what is being set up as the forerunner to like a time jump. But for everybody who stuck with us, I know this is a later session and I really appreciate it. I just would you guys like a chance to give everybody your socials, or should we wrap up? Do a faster wrap up.
I'm indifferent.
Same.
Okay, let's do a quick. We'll start
Thank you,
with
Siosa.
Bite.
Yes, holy.
Thank you.
That was a lot of fun.
That
I
was
had
a lot of
great
fun.
time doing that. All right, so Sarah, I'll have you go first with giving your socials.
All right. Copy.
The audience demands it.
Paste. All right. Those are the links where you can find me. I am working with the wonderful Scarlet Adventurer on a project called Bravely Broken on Tango Productions. You can also find me here on, let me pull this up, on Tuesday nights playing Magic, the very clumsy media. You can find me on Thursdays here running Deviant Futures.
Okay, what was the name of where you're playing Magic?
She's playing Magic on Carnage Heights.
Is it streamed?
I
Yes.
said it was on this channel.
Every Tuesday.
Oh wait, on this channel?
Yeah.
Magic?
Yeah, Magic is on this channel.
I didn't know that. I literally started to type in the name of the show that I've seen in our Discord. Oh yeah, I'll shout out Carnage Heights.
Also, if you do want to see a little bit of Bravely Broken, we do. A friend of mine posted some of the stuff from our filming. Is that the YouTube channel or YouTube?
That is the YouTube video, yes.
Okay. So yeah.
If no one objects, I will jump
Yeah,
very
Go ahead.
into it very quickly. As was said, I am working with the wonderful Sarah and Tagmore Productions to bring you Bravely Broken. You can see the socials and the links to stuff right above in the chat. And if it's not in the somewhere in the YouTube video, then you'll find it somewhere because we'll talk about it again and 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 again. I'm in a loop. But otherwise you will find me here same times, same days as you will find Sarah, because apparently I can't do anything without her.
I mean, you
Seriously?
guys
I'm
make a
kidding.
great team.
The
No,
Wonder
like,
Twins.
are we seriously on everything together?
We're on everything together because now
Oh.
on every Tuesday you will find me as Red Death on Carnage Heights, our Cyberpunk Red campaign. You will find me playing Hati on Thursdays on the Deviant Futures campaign that Sarah is running, and you will find me here playing Booker every Sunday. That isn't canceled for unforeseen reasons. And otherwise, just you can find me. If you look for me, you can find me, but I don't make myself that easy to find because I'm crazy. Yes. Sorry. Anyways, thank you so much.
Anyway, okay, so I'm Blaze of Gloriosa. You can find me on my own channel streaming, usually Mondays and Wednesdays. I try to stream after shows Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm here Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific. And Sundays, I mean, obviously. And then I try to stream on my channel afterward. I have also lately been doing, like, pop-up streams and crafting streams, like, basically whenever I feel like it, which has been, like, extremely freeing. I also put my BOP link aggregator in the chat, so you can find me on TikTok where I post random stuff, and Twitter where I retweet random people and all that stuff. So I'm around. I'm here. I do things. I like it.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming out, and we're glad to have everybody here enjoying the campaign with us. If you're watching on YouTube, please smash that like and subscribe. Let me try that again.
Like,
Please smash that like
subscribe.
and subscribe button, and
Bell.
everyone, please be nice to one another, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.